So in this video, we will show on the chroot jail what happens when we want to start Weston automatically with either VNC or RDP backends or both of them. Just remember that you cannot use DRM or KMS directly because it does not exist like on the chroot. This is one possible reason. Another possible reason, if we did put like all the relevant libraries, remember we're an emulated chroot, okay? But the other reason would easily be fdev colliding with the Wayland compositor that you're running on your host. So like you may have all kind of issues, and then it's very likely that this will not go through as you would want to. I actually made a recording of that, but I think it's better to not have too many confusion of that, and the explanation can take a while. So basically, this is the status now. We don't have any port open, and this is our system. Okay, so what I did, I copied origin Weston. This was the original Weston. That was the Weston that came from the Yocto project, and I only removed like the X Wayland instead of true. False, okay? And the other differences that I added here on like the new Weston would be removing the DRM backend, so we don't have the DRM, and screen share, we'll get to it later, okay? Don't worry about it now. So the idea is that I would want to go ahead, if I do that, and just restart and do something like etc rc5d09 Weston, restart, and it should complain on the keys, on the TLS keys, I think. So let's see what's going on. Let's look at the log there. I show it's done like before, and it did say, hey, the VNC backend requires a key and certificate for TLS security, and now, well, it's also messed up my terminal. This is the really annoying thing. So since I know what I've done on my VNC, okay, script, I can, and since we already saw in another video, the opt-args environment variables, what I can do is basically copy for myself, okay, and have all these nice fellows here as opt-args, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do this, export opt-args equals, let's start with this, then I'll copy. Of course, there was a typo, why not? Okay, let's just see that it cuts. Looks good. Let's for fun do tell-def temp weston.log ampersand, and I'll now restart. I'll kill all Westons just in case. It didn't come up, so nothing happened. And now this was the tail, but I want to do restart. So it stops Weston. That wasn't running anyway. And if things go well, I should see some logs. And if things don't go well, I should also see some logs. But look what's going on. We see the logs here, and basically we have like the output of VNC, and we also have the RDP one, I believe. Yeah, and it's on the local host. So let's see what happens when we try to connect to it. So we'll go Tiger VNC. We'll connect to our local host. And it seems to be working, which is encouraging. Let me resize it for us to see a little bit better. So I'm opening this fellow. Problem is that now there are like two backends, like more copying and more sharing. You should really not share more than like one display in general. Okay. And so we have this for the Tiger VNC. Okay. Let's do nmap to our local host. And we indeed see both the VNC and the RDP. So let's do x3 RDP localhost. And here we have our RDP. Okay. So basically this works. And look, like when I go like to the bar, I pressed it on the VNC and it does see it over the RDP like as well. Like if I go and move this terminal enough, then we will see it like on the RDP and vice versa. So what's the thing here? The thing is that like we need to specify the geometry of each one of the interface that we're sharing. They share the same thing, but they think that the geometry of like the display there is different. Okay, so that's a little bit messed up. I actually opened here on the RDP and it opened like on the VNC because it just thinks that things are like on the wrong direction and it's vice versa. Okay. If I opened on the RDP, if I open the RDP connection first, look what happened. Like if I go ahead like type blah 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 blah. If I open the RDP connection first, then essentially I would be seeing things much earlier. Okay, I would see things on the RDP ones and so on. So this is how it looks like. Okay, it's not that bad. It works, which is nice. And if we do Wayland display echo Wayland display, you need to be slow on purpose. It wrote twice. Why? Then it's Wayland 1, so I could send things there and so on. So just to recap that, I did not need anymore any of these things. I just use opt-args when I ran the Weston service, and then I was done. So I can modify the 09 file to already have this. Now, why did I need to do it? Because if I want to run one of these as like the main backend, I need to provide all the arguments to it. There are all kinds of sections in the Weston init file, but these sections, in particular the screen share section, they would not do what we expect for like the main one. Okay, so the screen share I will actually refer to it when we show some things on the target itself, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm quickly going to connect the target and my computer to the same network. So I'll pause the video. And then I will not modify much. I will just modify the screen share section on the Weston init file of our target. And then I'll show you how screen share works either automatically or by not having this or having this equals false and then hitting ctrl+alt+s. So I'll pause, I'll resume in a jiffy, and then we'll see how it is. Okay, so I'm back. I have my device here. Okay, let's see what is currently opening it. There is a good chance that I was previously connected to it before I took this break and in one of the other videos. So let's just see what's up there, okay? So the ports that are open there, both VNC and RDP, and I want to do it without like our hacky or not so hacky thing. So let's go ahead. I'll go to my device. I'll do ps grep Weston, select the real device, and then I'll do heal Weston. So I killed it. Now I'm on my own like device. Okay. I see like a terminal, like a Yocto terminal, and now I'm going to do something else. So we have here like the command lines from the VNC, okay? And I'm going to actually go and sort of copy from myself here. So I'll use at first an RDP backend. I put it on the screen share, okay, with the right parameters because the parameters there are wrong. And I'll go to etc xdg. We have the certificates there, Weston, okay. Let's copy Weston ini to grab Weston. I'll make a different name for that. And then in Weston ini, we'll see the main backend is DRM backend. That's what I wanted, okay? That's good. Now for the screen share, we see that there is a command here. I'll comment it out. First of all, the full screen shell can show like, it does not have like the title bar, and it can be very useful if you just display something. But if you do not display something, sorry, I just want to make sure that, okay, it's here. If you do not display something, some image on top of it, some background, no, you can do background, some application, then you cannot click like the title bar and open the terminal, which is something that they do want to do. So I will not do this full screen shell, I'll do the desktop shell, and I'll have like the certificates here, and no client resize doesn't really work, so we'll forget about it. So I'll get rid, there is an excessive screen share here, okay? And I'll actually remove the start on startup true. Now, what I'm going to do, I'll do etc. I don't have like the opt args, the opt args that I had before. So etc xdg, sorry, etc rc5d. We should already have the seats there because Weston ran. And Weston, and I will restart it. Now I see the screen, okay? I see my own screen, which is good. I click the terminal. This is why we can now see like could not load cursor D&D move and yada 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 yada. Okay, and what I'm doing now is actually clicking ctrl+alt+s, but nothing happens. Okay, absolutely nothing happens. Now let's go ahead and on the target to tail-f to tmp and Weston log and put a nice ampersand here. So these are the things that we have here. Okay, just to do it like before. Actually, I don't care about the previous RDP. I had it like before. We'll nmap the target. 254. And yeah, none of these is open right now. So what we want to do is figure out why we don't see the screen share. And one of the reasons for that is that the module was not included. Okay, so I'm going to add to the modules, I'm going to add a screen share as well. Okay, so instead of having these values here, I'm going to have modules equals screen share.so so that it will be loaded. I can load it externally via the command line if I want to as well. Okay, and I believe that this is the right syntax. I'll do a restart. And check it out. Loading module user leap Weston screen share SO. This looks fine. This is because I opened like a terminal here. Forget about this, like accidentally paste. Forget about it, doesn't matter. And now I'm going to do Ctrl+Alt+S on my device. And look what happened. Something did happen. Launching screen shares, sorry. Yeah, so loading module, launching, primary client died, closing, failed to process well connection, broken pipe, and so on and so forth. Now, before I did it, I did like this nmap anyway, okay? So we have this broken pipe. We should figure out what was the problem with it. Something did happen when it did like the control test. So let's go ahead and actually see that. Okay, so I'm going to now that we saw an error in action, I'm going to restart it. It loaded the module of the screen share, which is nice. I'm going to hit ctrl+alt+s, and again, primary client died. Closing, failed to process well in connection, broken pipe, broken this, broken that. So it means that something in my command is just not right. So let's go ahead and look at the Weston ini file. So the Weston ini file has this command, a user being Weston, RDP backend SO, shell desktop shell, TLS, and RDP TLS, which looks pretty much okay. Alright, so it does look pretty much okay. So we need to figure out what else it can be, or like what it was. Start and startup true, doesn't really matter. So one other thing that can be useful many times, what can be, by the way, I don't really know why it doesn't work right now, so I need to like debug it. If there are some things, for example, if we did not enable fdev and we set require input to true, and if there is no input, then we'll get an error earlier than that. Okay, I hear all kind of things like on my earphones, and it's quite annoying. Okay, so this one doesn't work. Okay, we do have the RTP TLS, we do have all of this. Let's go ahead and try just see the original parameter here. Okay, that was commented out before. And let's see what happens when we restart Weston and do like the ctrl+alt+s trick. So something does happen. Look at this. The RDP compositor require keys and optional search. So something is okay. Something does work. Something is like on the right direction. Okay. So it's not like all bad. So we need to figure out what is going on. We are running Weston as user Weston. Now, the moment that there are all kind of like error or issues or things like that, sometimes there can be access. Sometimes there can be other things. So here it's the TLS security. Let's just copy the second one. We'll keep like the full screen shell here. Okay. We'll do like the minimum, the very minimum differences here. And what we can see, even before getting to it, is that the pasting just didn't go so well. So this is annoying. I thought I was actually debugging something meaningful, but yeah, maybe I messed up here too. No, I did not mess up here too. So that's, you see, it doesn't even like give you like the error on that, but which is weird and doesn't make sense actually when I think about it. So I don't think this was the error. But let's see. I'll just take both of them. Remember, it's still commented out. Copy them. Put it here just in case. Okay. Restart it once again. Control test once again. Actually, nothing is happening here. No. Maybe I did some undos to the device because I did see some. Yeah, I don't have like the module here. How did this happen? Yeah, sorry about it. So let me get rid of this because it's just not right. So I actually don't know why or how I removed like the screen share. So, and I'm not going to record it again with all due respect. So let me just go ahead and try and fix it, and that's it. So again, modules, screen share.so. This will make control+s go ahead and run the command in this screen share one. Yeah, we'll use the first. I have it in both of them. Let's restart Weston. I hit Ctrl+S and then it says, yeah, RDP compositor requires keys and additional certificate for RDP or TLS security. So it's not happy for whatever reason. Let's see what that reason is. And this is the command that it's trying to use, like user bin Weston, backend RDP backend, shell, full screen shell, so no client resize, yada, 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 yada. Now, I can go ahead and debug it by actually just stopping Weston or not stopping Weston and just running it. So it did not work because I did not set the XDT runtime there, and I think that only because of that. I can check it. I will check it. XDT runtime dir equals run. It's better to do it as a super user though. But you know what? I can also do it as root and just share like the root one just for fun. So it can be run user 0. I think I created this directory. I'm not sure. I did not. Let's create it. Run user 0. And yeah, it's unhappy with the. So yeah, I only copied the key apparently. I did not copy there the certificate. It's just so slow and it makes me do mistakes. Make mistakes. So that's the key. Let's go for the cert. And the order really doesn't matter. No client resize is absolutely unnecessary and I'll remove it. I'm keeping the full screen shell. Yeah, so now this error, you know, it's a good thing that there are errors, unless you just want to, I don't know, to podcast it. So I'm restarting it because this is how we debug some things, okay? So I did not hit Ctrl+S yet, but I will do it now. So I just did it, and now it looks better. It tells us, hey, no client resize option, which I know there is no such option. So let's go ahead and comment out the first one. You know what? I'll just remove this. And maybe one of the issues was that I wanted to delete things with Control W, and it's the BusyBox VI. So I removed this because it's complained about it. I'll do restart here, and then let's do Ctrl+Alt+S for the screen share. And it's unable to bind socket because maybe I just did it twice. Very good chance that I did. And yeah, and I have it like on the target. And if I do like RDP to it, the DND is because I opened like another, I'll do it again. I opened like a terminal. Okay. So if I now I do x3 RDP to 192.168, that's the IP 16254, I should be seeing something. And there it is. Like I see it. Let me just, I'm writing now on my device itself. Hello. I see it on my device already. Let's see when it is willing to show itself on the RDP. Wow, that's very slow. So hello, and now I press some things. I already see them in my device, but the video will come back on later. So RDP works, and we're good with that, okay? So woohoo for us, great for us. Now let's go back to the configuration file. I'll get rid, I mean, now the commands are supposed to be the same. And I'll just go ahead and remove this, use like the other command here, and I will add to it also a VNC. Okay, how about that? So let me, it's a little bit slow. Anyway, by the way, I'm not even sure it's so slow. So it loaded, I do ctrl+alt+s, and it is broken. So let's see why it is broken. The difference there, or one difference, was using the desktop shell. And other than that, we have the RDP TLS cert, which looks about right. We have the TLS key, which also looks about right. Okay. So the difference there would be full screen shell and desktop shell essentially, or already having like an RDP shell. So let's modify desktop shell. By the way, it should be fine. Restart. I did ctrl+s and now it actually does work. Okay, so one thing is behind us. We have the screen share. We can go back and connect to it again. Our amazing Weston device. It doesn't look very amazing, but that's fine. I mean, I just from my own device, I clicked the the terminal button. I cannot just other icons. I'm pretty sure that I made such videos either for like the Tordex ones or like for what I called Meetup 17 and its addendums. There were like millions of lectures about Wayland and graphics and I don't know. So we're okay with VNC, with the desktop here. Now let's go ahead and do something more. Let's go ahead and edit it so we have the VNC backend as well. So in the backend here, I'll just make it shorter. I mean, we already know that we can run the -b command and just say the backend. So I'll do -b. Doesn't matter the order. RDP, VNC. Okay. And here I will also add the VNC ones. Like it's the same name more or less. I just instead of RDP say VNC. So VNC TLS cert and VNC that is -VNC TLS key. I'll restart it. I'll nmap it. I'll do ctrl+alt+s and nmap it again. So ctrl+alt+s opens both of them, like VNC and this fellow. And then I should be able to just connect. No, that's not the one I wanted. I didn't want to connect to localhost. Nope. So I'll connect to 192.168.16.254. Yes, I modified like the user Weston, and there I have it. I have like my VNC connection. Okay, so the resolution will not be very amazing, but it's still it. Okay, so that's what I have here, and it is very slow. It also shares like with the RDP. Okay, so it's not amazing at all. But this can be set to be like the right resolutions and so on and so forth. And if you do like the desktop mode, by the way, with the VNC only, then it will not have all these annoying things here. Like it will do just better resolution wise. Okay, so this is for like the VNC, and later I will just go ahead and do the right thing and only share VNC. or let's share my desktop. But the thing is, sorry, do I have this? No. The thing is, there is another thing that we can do. Instead of doing ctrl+alt+s, what we can do is just do start and startup equals true. Let's do, instead of restart, let's do stop. Let's do our nmap to see if it's indeed killed. Seems so. And then let's do restart. And wait a bit and do like the nmap. So it's unhappy about something. We see some error from RDP, but it's just that some connection reset by pure failed. It's the same thing we saw in other videos that we like pinged it, right? And now we actually have the device. We can do the VNC and we can be happy about it. Okay, so X-Tiger VNC viewer. I'll do it again. I can set resolutions and so on and so forth. And this has been done automatically without doing the ctrl+alt+s thing, which is very, very, very nice. Okay, so having said that, I'll get rid of that. I will do VI to the Westonini, get rid of the dual. This was not supported in the past, by the way. I'll get rid of both of them. I'll just do backend VNC. And there is a chance that it will say that there are like excessive parameters here and will tell me to remove them, but maybe it's not like this. I will also use the desktop shell. Although for the screen sharing, it doesn't matter that much, to be honest. Desktop shell. I'll restart it. Yeah, unhandled option, blah 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 blah. It's unhappy with the excessive options, so let's just get rid of them. Get rid of the RDP ones. So 10DW. Let's try again. Or it's too much. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so no extra thing that we don't need. We will restart Weston. And again, it says about like the broken pipe. So it's unhappy with the desktop shell. Perhaps, yeah, it works when I do it. I'm sorry, it's my bad. It works when we do it without like the main shell. When we do it like as the only processor or like the main process. So that's fine. We'll get rid of this. I'm not sure we need a shell at all, but if so, we'll do like the full screen shell because we want to share everything. It also makes sense. We'll restart it. I might have done too many undos. I'm actually not even sure what. And working on this device is not very, very nice. So we don't need the TLS keys. Yeah, I did some undos, I think. Needed the VNC ones. So let me just get rid of it like this and hope I don't delete too much. If you watch it and because you have troubles, you will thank me. If you just watch it, hey, let's see something new, probably won't be very happy with the thinking, but I'm just doing it now. Okay, I do everything live, I think. But now I'm so tired. Yeah, broken pipe, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to, so Weston is back. We'll do the shelves full screen here too. restart it for the 5 million time. It could have been so much shorter. And it failed to create compositor. Why is that? Uh, maybe I already had this set like VNC. There is such an option. Let's nmap. Yeah, so this was probably the reason for that. And just to check it, let's see what happens when I stop. Good. So maybe try to set things twice. Actually, I'm not sure what it is that it wanted. Because we have here like, yeah, there is something that makes them run twice, I think. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter though. So let's go ahead and do a VNC to the target. It's a very annoying client. But now that we only have this and not also like the RDP, then everything looks much, much, much better and definitely much, much, much faster. Okay, that's me here. And let's do Weston. I don't know what. Smoke, how was it? Yeah. So I'm moving and there is the smoke. Mortal Kombat like. Good. So this is it. I think it pretty much covers most of the things that we need. So now that we know how to set certificates, how to debug on chroot, which is super handy, how to run all kind of like VNC RDPs, how to start them with the ctrl+alt+s key or automatically, we can take all this knowledge, incorporate that into a recipe, and make everything work. And if I remember correctly, Lona Navi, which is awesome and is a friend, uh, he gave a couple of talks of that on FOSDEM. So I know there is a Yocto project recipe that takes care of all of this. But now, even if you see that, you will know how everything works, even without that. And maybe I'll make like a recipe of my own in another video, but I doubt it. So yeah, this can be very useful. I admit I'm tired, uh, but you know, these are the kind of things that you do so many times and troubleshoot. And like you know these things, but then you miss something that is written, then the network goes slow, then this, then that. So this wraps it now for now. And the nice thing is that now when you see in my courses or if I make some videos that I do demonstrations on an emulator or on a container or I don't know what, I tell you, trust me, it's like this on a real device. You don't need to be further convinced, okay? Dude knows what he's doing. So that's it. I hope that if you had a problem, you solve it, and whether you did or not, that you enjoyed it. And maybe I'll add some other videos. I hope it was recorded. All right, thank you. Take care.